Let's try again. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Boys from the Baltic Star. It is Saturday night here on the Baltic Star, and on a Saturday night, we love to play a whole variety of games if the three of us are here. If two of us are here, we do as well, but especially when there's three. Sometimes with friends, sometimes with just the three of us special Baltic Star housemates in the manner of Baltic Star. And we're here tonight to try a whole new game. He's very excited. I don't know about you guys. I am thrilled about this.
I am very much looking forward to it.
Yes. I mean, a new game. It's nothing like we've ever done before. Not an era, not a setting that we've played with at all. It's fantastic.
But with the homeliness of Revolution thrown in to make it somewhat familiar.
It does feel a bit like our brand, doesn't it?
The homeliness of Revolution. I like the homeliness of Revolution.
Stick it on a t-shirt.
I enjoy the homeliness of Revolution.
Yeah.
Wonderful. There will be revolution. In fact, the whole concept of the game is revolution, and we'll go into that in a second. But we're here tonight to play for, I don't know, we didn't give a finishing time. You got a finishing time?
Something reasonable.
See what happens. See what happens. Cool. I'll take the Ben approach of a wind-up time and see where it goes.
Seems fair enough.
3 a.m. Well, we'll see. It's a session, so we'll see. It's sort of a because it's sort of an intro session. It's sort of self-contained as such, so we'll see where it goes for that. But yeah, so we'll play for about that much time. Most of the Red Sun Imperial credits are off tonight because there's no thematic ones we've set up yet. As theme gets added, I'm sure we will add some more. But there's still a few little musical pieces to enjoy. And you can still drink to that. You can still get Ventress Blend for you. You can still get a boon. We'll work out how that works. You can name an NPC as long as it's era specific. Very strict on that. Or get our heroes, once we know who they are, to regale us with a tale. All the options are there. I should change guns out to bows out, maybe.
I like it.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, longbows.
Longbows out.
Longbows
out.
Nice.
Better than getting your cudgel out.
Oh, we don't want to go there.
No, too right. So, so click on that, chat or don't chat in chat, whatever you want to do, lurk, chat, whatever. We're quite interactive, we're quite chill. We're just going to have a lovely time tonight. In fact, I'm so sure that I've brought out the Pims. I'm on a Pims tonight, which is, as Ewan said, it's very thematic for the era.
Very thematic for the era, yes.
So they were all drinking Pims in England in 1376.
Well, they might have been. It's hard to tell. They couldn't count as high as 7.
You say that. Maybe your character, when you create him, may not be able to. But I'm sure mine is intelligent and wise ahead of his years.
I look forward to hearing all about their intelligence.
Oh, have we got long enough? That'll be the 3 a.m. finish.
That will be, yeah. It's just a lecture by Luke's character.
Yeah.
Everyone get comfortable.
It's perfect. So let's introduce the three of us first, I suppose, and then we'll get on with it. So my name is Luke. Hello, I'm in the top left. Now, the main purpose of this game is, as it goes, and if we get comfortable with it, we might switch around GMing a little bit. The way it works fits for it. But I've got the book for now, and I've sort of had a bit more time with it. So I'm starting us off for the first season, I suppose, and we'll see where it goes from there. Whether it works that way or others want to try, which should be fun. The others that may try may include the man next to me, the man in the middle. He is Floofmeister General, the housewife favourite, my brother from another mother. It is, of course, verily, 'tis Ewan. Good evening, Ewan. How are you?
Hello. I'm very good, thanks. Very good. Veritably good?
Veritably good. Oh,
Yeah,
that's very
good.
medievally.
I was just following your lead, of course.
Oh, verily. Of course, have you been cramming up on your Latin? Of course, Latin was in great use during this period.
It was indeed. And my character knows just as much Latin as I do.
Wonderful. That's
You'd be
worked
pleased
out
to
really
know.
well then.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah. It's perfect. I mean, they know more, but they choose not to use it, of course.
God, I don't want to mark yourself up as some kind of posh snob in sort of the uncomfortable times that we're in.
Precisely. It feels like it's more at home in the church, I would imagine.
Oh, so Ewan, what's your favourite thing about medieval times?
About medieval times, my favourite thing about medieval times is, as I've put in our Discord channel just recently, the modern music genre of bardcore that has come out, which wouldn't have been possible without medieval times and the music therein.
Yes, that's true. So you're a fan of the music. Well, I hope you enjoyed the intro music.
I did. It was very good. It was very good. Very thematical.
No, it was. I had a good old look for that this afternoon. And I guess the other question is, in real life, which of the hundreds were you born in?
In real life, who knows? Who knows? Now you've totally thrown me. Looking at my map, it's kind of hard to tell. Mostly because my geography is terrible.
You are a Kentish man, though.
I am indeed a Kentish man. Tunbridge originally. Not sure where that lies on this map because some of these places, I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with. Ihorn. Where's that? Never heard of it. You just made it up, didn't you? Put it on a map to confuse me.
It's not me. Are you claiming Ihorn?
No, I'm not. I'm just. I'll go to Google and come back.
Okay. Well, we'll catch up on you another time. While you're doing that, we'll go to a man who never needs to Google. In fact, he just needs Google because he is the smartest man in any room. Lives his entire life in the Twin Peaks dream sequence and can often be found being carried around on a horse and cart through a winding, muddy road. He is, of course, the Queen of Faversham. It's Ben. Good evening, Ben. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yes, very much looking forward to this one. This is going to be weird and very familiar to us because everything we encounter is going to sound like old people talking. It's going to be great.
And of course, the more we become as old people, the more we hear such talk.
Yes,
I'm starting to hear it in myself more and more. When I was a lad.
How many times this week have you used the word verily?
Actually, I very rarely use that. I don't think I've used that at all. No, I have thrown in some weird foreign terms, but not that one.
Well, maybe it's your chance tonight as you fully engage with the story and the setting and your character.
Oh, it could be. Not impossible.
I've got my map of Kent of the time that came with the game, Ben, but of course we know that you're a man of the world.
I am, yes.
Where were you personally born?
I wasn't born in Kent.
No.
No, I was born in Dorset, or Dorset, as they call it there.
Yes. What a fine place. And maybe one day in this game we'll make it as far.
Well, you never know. I mean, to make you feel at home, there is a place called Gillingham in Dorset.
Oh, there you go. Not far off. Lovely. That's something to look forward to. I think the exciting thing about this game is literally the whole of England has been mapped. And so everywhere is a draw. You could want to go to anywhere except Chatham, of course. Always avoid Chatham, even if it's on the map.
Yes. Yes, the 100 I was actually born in is called Cogdean.
Oh, Cogdean, lovely.
For what it's worth, but just north, just the other side of the chain ferry from the Isle of Purbeck.
Oh, you speak so poetically.
That's a very good place to have been born, because I was there.
Ewan, have you found your 100?
I have, and somewhat. It's not really ironic, but happenstantial. It's cod sheath.
Ah, cod sheath. Well, there you go. What can I
Yeah.
say? A fishy condom.
Indeed, a place I've never heard of
Until
until now.
now. It's all.
I am familiar with Westerham, which is on there. I probably should have looked for that. But I was just looking for anything that I was familiar with, and no, there wasn't any.
Ah, well,
But
I'm
now we
glad.
know.
Now we know forever. That is good. And of course, I was born in the 100 of Canterbury, for I am a classy individual. Yeah.
Very good point.
Ooh, this is.
We'll work out which class later. Definitely belongs to a class.
Keep counting down. We'll get there in the end. Oh god. And maybe that is why I was so drawn to this game when it was first announced. So Ewan saw it as well, I believe. Gallows Corner, published by Three South Studios, written by Bickers, Blum, and Kilpatrick. I've been in contact with them on their amazing Discord, and did ask if I could use their art within the game, which they were very kind to do so. So any of the art you see, aside from the map work, which is mine using the website, which is called Incarnate, which is a good website. So the map was made in Incarnate, but the graphics are from the book, Gallows Corner, which is available in lovely tome. Lovely, it's textured tome with silver.
It's a very classy looking book.
It is, and inside it is beautifully, beautiful pictures. Look, that's the Midlands. Still looks a bit like Mordor, just like it does today. There's just some beautiful things. There's a trader, a greasy trader, chewing on an apple or something, about to do you out some money, and it's a lovely piece to have and hold, and recommend it. Hey Sparrow, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us, verily, tonight here in medieval times. So I guess we need to look at getting this game started, if that's all right with you two.
Well, let's at least begin with framing a character or two.
I think that would be wonderful. Now, if I click to here, I should have control, hopefully. I'm going to bring this map down a little. There we go. I might bring it up here. There we go, there. In fact, if I turn off grid snapping, I have full control over it. There we go. So we are indeed starting this adventure in the hamlet, I suppose, of Nortone. It's more of a parish. Historically, it was Norton, Buckland, and Stone, and but it was gathered centrally around a very small hamlet around the manor house there and the church. So I don't want to spend too much time on it right now, but you have Watling Street, the famous road that connects up to London, the Roman road to the north, which I'm right next to right now in real life, in fact. Look out the window and touch it. If I open the window first. And then down here, so it's centralised around St Mary's Church, the manor house, and it's a lovely place to be. Ben graciously said to me as he saw the map for the first time, it's quite reminiscent of Norton now.
It is.
So that felt very nice to hear. And Norton is special to me because I grew up there. It's just a few miles down the road from where we live now. I lived a little bit further. I'd be half a mile diagonal down, sort of southeast. It sort of stretches out a little bit. And it was all farms and things like that. And where those fields are now, to the west, is a cricket ground, a sports club. And it's quite different now, but this is similar to how it would have been at the time. So I'd love to read an introduction for us all, if we're okay with that, to set the scene.
Please.
And then I think it's time to meet some characters. Our tale begins on the 1st of May, 1376, in the rural hamlet of Norton. 50 miles down Watling Street from London, the capital of England. We're in the oldest county in all of England, that of Kent. Founded by the Jutes in the 5th century after the departure of the Romans, Kent's location to the southeast of England has proven vital to trade and as a gathering point for the armies being sent to mainland Europe. Kent itself does not exist as one single administrative body. Indeed, it is split up in many ways. Firstly, the River Medway, 20 miles to the west of Norton, divides Kent into two halves. Those to the west of the river, classified as Kentish men and Kentish maids. Those to the east, such as those in Norton, are known as men of Kent and maids of Kent. Kent is also divided into 7 lathes and up to 70 smaller administrative areas called hundreds, although many of these existing as part of more formal hundreds, officially 35 of those. Norton, in the Lathe of Scray, on the western border of the Hundred of Faversham, may have its own church and lord of the manor, but pales into insignificant compared to the fairly local towns of Faversham, Canterbury with its mighty ancient cathedral, Maidstone and Rochester, to the west of Medway itself with its own cathedral, Kent currently being the only county with 2. It was the men of Kent who never surrendered to William the Bastard 300 years ago, with the battle cry Invicta, or unconquered. Because of this, a treaty was forced on William, meaning that they were allowed to keep their ancient rights and privileges. These included gavelkind, Kent being the only county where an estate was divided equally between all surviving sons, rather than being given wholly to the oldest. This means that the fields, farms and manors of Kent look very different to the rest of the country. Other rights within Kent include heirs succeeding an estate if the father is convicted of a felony, rather than the crown claiming them. Also, Kentish widows could claim half of her husband's land compared to just a third elsewhere. So you may be mistaken for thinking that the life of the common man in Kent is a content one, with good deals, a beautiful climate for fruits and crops, pigs snuffling in the forests, and a huge amount of trade bringing wealth to the Cinque Ports, towns given tax exemptions and self-governance in exchange for providing ships and men for local coastal defence. Unfortunately, as with the rest of the country, shadow of death, decay and misery is cast over the fertile lands of Kent. The church is powerful in the county, with the infamous Archbishop of Canterbury, Simon Sudbury, presiding over an institution that was enjoying obscene levels of social and economic power. Corruption and the selling of church status, known as simony, pardons, indulgences and enforced eviction of tenants showed the church to be far from the teachings of the Christ they preached from the pulpit. The Black Death, barely a generation past, decimated the county, shattering the local economy and leaving cracks in the rigid feudal system, building discontent, suspicion, distrust and anger among the populace. Conscription for the 100 Years' War has increased again as France has claimed the upper hand. Kent's location, perfect for trade and the riches it brings with it, also makes it perfect for a reliance on manpower for the wars, with thousands of men of Kent and Kentish men sent off to fight and die on battlefields far from their homes and family. In 1376, the anger and discontent among the population is large. It is a simmering powder keg, just waiting for a spark. Not that you would know it this day in Norton, the green, at the central point of a scattered parish, has a maypole erected upon it, with colourful ribbons streaming off in all directions, clutched by adults and children alike. The slate grey skies, rain and cold of the early spring months has given way to blue skies, white fluffy clouds and a welcome warmth, almost as if God was smiling on the righteous. The working man and woman afforded a rare day of rest for this special holiday. The bells of the local church of St Mary's ring out enthusiastically, causing a pair of startled red kites to take to the air, sweeping majestically off over the woods to the east. Norton's celebration today is strategically placed in the late afternoon, with local celebrations in Ospringe and Tenham taking place earlier, allowing the local dancers, mummers, performers, magicians and storytellers to make the hour-long walk along Watling Street from either direction, with cups of ale in hand to join the more intimate event in Norton. Indeed, some of the performers, keen to make as much coin as possible on a major earning day, would be planning to head back to Faversham afterwards, the oldest market town in Kent, a member of the Confederation of the Cinque Ports, just 20 minutes past Ospringe, as the celebrations there would be continuing well into the evening. The lord of the manor, John Champagne, was conspicuous by his absence. His dwelling, Norton Court, sat away from the lively green. By comparison, seemed quiet and unbothered by the cheer of the merrymakers. The vicar of St Mary's, a man by the name of William Atwood, while slightly aloof and separate from the crowds, nonetheless walked among his parishioners, wishing them well for the day and welcoming visitors and the less swarthy performers to the hamlet. Outside of the green itself, one of the biggest crowds had gathered around a very important dwelling that sat near the green. A broom, attached horizontally beside the door, with green, red and yellow ribbons tied to the shaft, announced that local alewife, Marjery Kirk, had prepared a fresh batch of her much-loved ale, especially for the May Day celebrations. New rough benches had been assembled and placed around the entrance to her home, full of drinkers enjoying the ale and laughing, joking, watching the dancers and being entertained by the visiting performers. It is here where we start our tale, as three men, with three very different lives, have happened to sit down together, unaware of how their futures will be forever entwined as part of a movement that looked to change the whole country as they knew it. And so here we are. If you look at the map as it stands, with the green is indeed where the Maypole is standing, rocking slightly as the exuberant children, youth and adults dance around with music playing. A few people already, a couple of sheets to the wind, staggering around with ale mugs in hand, enjoying themselves. The sort of the magicians, the singers, the musicians, the mummers, each working for their penny or two of the day, taking tips where they can. And Marjery's house, if you look, is the bottom of the three to the top left, to the northwest of the green.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of that orangey one opposite the tree on the green. And outside there, along sort of the entrance and that gap to the side, maybe a dozen benches and sort of trestle tables, hastily hammered together from wood, chopped down just in the recent weeks. They are full of people, and there are three people who happen to have gone to the door, had their cup filled, and have sat down together. And it turns out it's the three of us. Oh my goodness! Now, this is where the adventure begins. So, in a game of Gallows Corner, you have an overarching goal, I guess, which we won't go into now. We don't need to, because today is the 1st of May and it's a merrymaking time. But it's split into scenes, and today is such a scene. And the scene will generally be split up with a goal for the scene. And I'll tell you the goal for today's scene. It's always a verb. And sometimes we may decide it together, and sometimes I'll decide it on my own. But the theme for today is celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's May Day, and the ale is good, very good. And there is what's called a clock, and the clock counts down. And there's a goal before that clock. And if you go beyond that clock countdown, then maybe we cannot achieve the goal. Maybe something bad will happen. So it's up to us to complete such things. And the clock for today, I'll give you the title, I don't know if I always will. The clock is, our new heroes outstay their welcome. So our verb is to celebrate, but if our new heroes outstay their welcome, that is because the clock has filled, and then that will bring consequences. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Perfect. So, my dear friends, the ale is good, is it not? Marjery is a a splendid alewife.
She's a splendid alewife, and the ale is splendid too.
Oh, I think it's the best I've tasted on my journeys here in many months. It's a beautiful day to enjoy it, don't you think?
It really is. It's a lovely day. The sounds of spring are great, and the summer will soon be here. Busy time for me, but a relaxed time for most.
You see those wonderful red kites flying high. Nature around here is so bountiful, don't you think?
Exceptionally. And yes, I did note where they were circling. It could be worth knowing.
uh, what's your name, friends?
Roland.
Roland. A fine name. Does such a name come with a family name?
It does. I'm Roland Rhodes. They named me for a foreign legend, a hero, and I have failed to live up to that in every possible way.
I was going to say, to be named after a foreign hero must mean that you have a job of some standing, and yet here you are before me, in similarly worn clothes.
I wouldn't say I have a job exactly, more of a calling.
And what is that, dear friend? I see no constabulary or soldiers around.
But that's a good thing. I'm in wealth redistribution. When I see a hungry belly, I strive to fill it.
Is this through food that perhaps you yourself have procured?
That I stumble upon, yes. I travel widely and often across forests and open lands, and when I stumble across something tasty, I share it with the many.
From both forests and woods, so from land that is open to all and land that is owned by the wealthier individuals.
I've never believed that land can be owned by people in the strictest sense. They just shepherd it into the next generation, don't you feel?
Very well said, Roland. Very well said. What are the pickings like around here?
Excellent, actually. Well-maintained farms with lots of woodland between them is it's a good area for someone who lives off the land.
Well, here's to you, Roland, for keeping bellies full and morale high among those that have very little. An honourable profession, whatever some may say.
Oh, definitely. And yourself, how do you earn a crust of bread?
Well, earning is quite a word to use. You see, in ways, I'm a man of the cloth, but have been long shunned by those who I would call brother. You see, I am a humble friar. I help out at times at the Maison Dieu in Ospringe. Have you heard of it?
I have heard of it and walked through its fields many times.
Yes, sir. There's ale brewed there. There's food given out to weary travellers, and even the small amount of medical support we can give at the time. My brotherhood are there, but my calling is to travel around the local villages and hamlets to bring physical as well as spiritual support to those around. For what good is church if your belly is empty and such needs are not met?
I could have said it no better myself, though I know many a religious type who would argue what use is a full belly without a church to sit in with it?
It is. It is so true. Have you heard of? Are you a religious man at all, Ro?
I have a relationship with religion that is fair in passing, but I think we've decided to leave each other alone for the most part.
That's fair enough. To each man his own decision, of course. I, but I could see why one might struggle with such a position of God right now when the church is so against the teachings of Christ in the current day.
Not just that, though that is a fair point. I think there is a degree of inflexibility that can come with the church, an absolute view of the world that doesn't sit entirely well with those of us who like a little bit of inexactitude. Anyway, what's your name, friend Friar?
Ah, my name. My name is John Brooks.
That's a strong English name.
Ah, I'm a strong Englishman.
And are you Kentish, in fact?
I am from around these parts.
Fantastic.
I've spent most of my time in the hundreds of Faversham. I'm not friends with the abbots, of course, in Faversham itself, whose beliefs I struggle with. Instead, I travel, as I said, travel the villages around the hundreds of Faversham into Tenham and so on as needed to bring support for those.
A worthy cause.
I try.
It is good to make your acquaintance.
And yours, dear Roland. It appears your cup is empty. Shall I put in a good word for you with the alewife as I go to take another?
Please do. An empty cup is truly a sin.
Ah, a wise man indeed. Maybe we'll make a godly man of you yet. Now, while I go, please, sir, please, shuffle up and talk. You've been quiet, just minding your own business, while the two of us have been muttering on. Why don't you make my friend's acquaintance while I fill our glasses? So in fact, yours is nearly done too. Shall I make it 3?
Mine is nearly done too. Please do make it 3. Thank you. Thank you, John. Was it?
Yes, John Brooks.
Not that I was eavesdropping, of course. But I do like to study people. It must be said, especially when they're talking. Thanks. Thank you very much. And sorry, you sir, you were. What was your name? Was it
Roland.
Roland. My apologies. Yeah, my apologies. It's very nice to meet you. I was just sat there listening to what both of you do for a living, and found it a weird coincidence that I suppose I sit somewhere in between the two of you, not redistributing food, nor too much for the soul, but I do find the substance in the world and regurgitate it into a more humorful substance for everybody. And
I see. You're a
down
professional vomiter?
Not so much in the literal sense. And he holds up a big woven mask that I'd like to think you'd be familiar with the mummers who have been going around. And I entertain people. No,
yes, I am familiar with mummers, of course. I'm sorry, I misunderstood you.
Yeah, it's my fault. I'm talking in circles. It is good ale.
And it seems to be taking a while.
Well, I think taking a while goes hand in hand with it being good ale. The better the ale, the longer the queue. Is the rule that I tend to live by.
You're not wrong. So, are you performing today?
We have been around performing a little bit. So I've got a bit of time to myself. But we've been trying to make some coin. Yes.
And have the pickings been good?
Not bad. Not too bad. It could always be better, of course. May Day tends to be quite a good day. It must be said. Everybody's in good spirits. Everyone is celebrating, and that generally leads to a full hat when passed round, or a fuller hat, I should say.
Well, yes. A hat is a good thing. I have one of my own, though people for some reason rarely fill it with money.
Maybe you're not passing it round.
That must be the reason.
Have you ever thought about when you're undertaking your work, and you'll have a little look around, just make sure there's nobody, that perhaps afterwards you should just pass the hat round, see what happens.
No, it's not really the way my trade works, but I do appreciate the thought. I tend to do my best work in private, not in a kind of public forum.
I see. I think I'm beginning to piece together bits about what you might be talking about. Fear not, I have no qualms with your trade.
Your trade, famously, only men may be mummers. Is that correct?
It is. There are talks about women who have performed, but certainly not any that I've come across, and they tend to be ushered out rather quickly. For not something I'm particularly a fan of. The more mummers, the better. It's not as popular as it used to be. Some say it's a dying art, but I have confidence that it'll be around for centuries.
That's ambitious. Surely you only need it to be around for as long as you're going to live. Another 10 years, maybe?
If that. That would be. I mean, that would be ideal. That's the
goal.
Yes, yeah. But if it continues after my time, I'd be very happy to leave the mumming world a better place than I joined it.
Anyway, I've been remiss. What is your name, good sir?
My name is Colum.
Colum. A good Kentish name?
No, not particularly.
Huh.
It tends to be a travelling trade. I've made my way through many parts of the country to end up here today. On the 1st of May, 1376, the year of our Lord, I suppose, given our present company.
Oh, a fair point. That's certainly how most would express it. 1376. Seems like only yesterday it was 1375.
Well, perhaps.
Sorry, gentlemen. The queue was long, and but I was able to take some bread and a little cheese from Marjery. All she asked was for a wave back towards her from my two new friends.
Oh well, that of course we can acknowledge her kindness.
She is a wonderful lady.
And Colum turns to make a wave and almost instinctively falls off of his seat to try and elicit a little chuckle. jumps back up,
And
sits down.
there is indeed some sort of laughter from the benches around, from those that saw the pratfall.
He takes a deep bow.
If I may propose a toast to the mummers and the suppers. Let us sup.
Yes,
Catchy.
indeed.
Mm.
Good ale. It's truly great. It's the extra ingredients she adds that give it that flavour.
Yes, it's good. It is very, very tasty, and I don't know what I would do without occasional recourse to a gentle way to drift off into a nicer world, one with fewer sharp edges, if you know what I mean.
It is a time of many sharp edges. Sadly, time where the world feels like it's going crazy. But one must always drink and drink deeply to take such an edge off. I agree.
Yes. So it is a pleasant afternoon, and I find myself with nothing to do until the evening. As you might imagine, I do most of my activity at night.
Well,
Mostly.
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 Well, my friend, as there is time, perhaps you could tell us a tale of the past season. Could one please roll a d10? I did say there was no d10s, but there's a d10 for this.
I was promised no D10.
I put all my D10s away.
I trusted
So
you.
it's going to have to be you then.
So in the game, as season's finished, there's something called downtime. And during downtime, each player tells a story about someone they've met, something they've done.
It is a 9.
So we're starting off 9, and depending on that, it's you could get to tell a story of joy, happiness, and hope of something that happened during the spring. So this is to sort of add to that storytelling, dear viewers.
Well, springtime is particularly good for my line of work. The forests are busy with activity, especially noisy and filled with restless adult animals and frankly slow-moving juniors. It is a good time for many things, but one thing I like to do is head down to the chalk-bed streams, where, by the moonlight, it is possible to see the fish against the pale bottom of the water. Fishing is easier, it turns out, during daytime, but a chalk bed makes it a lot easier under the moonlight. So I was sitting there, minding my own business, just bothering absolutely no one, pulling out a trout here and there, when I encountered a lost, very, very young lamb. It staggered out of the bush on the other side of the stream, and my immediate thought was, there's a good pie there. But I have a certain degree of honor about my trade, and this, of course, was not the animal of a wealthy noble, nor something that lives wild and free. This was somebody's future. So I went over, and it had no fear of me. I picked it up under one arm and went looking to see where it had come from. And sure enough, there was a little path running through the woods, which I'd used myself once or twice. And at the end of it, there was a little fence, a little hedge, and a small field. And over there was indeed a herd of sheep. I got there and posted this lamb safely back over the fence. And then it occurred to me that these animals had been left out overnight, unsupervised, and I did wonder whether or not something was wrong. And it turns out not entirely wrong, but a young lad who'd clearly been tasked with looking after them had fallen asleep and was sleeping very soundly on a mossy bank just by the side of the field. So I thought I'd do him a favour and cleaned a fish for him. Left it by him and woke him up. He seemed a little startled. My clothing when I'm working at night is often of a dark hue, so I can blend in quite well in the night. But I reassured him that I meant him no harm and in fact had brought him a fish. And he, on hearing the tale of the lamb, actually suggested that I should come back to the farmhouse, where I have to tell you, that family presented me with one of the nicest pies I have ever tasted. It was delicious. When you meet people like this, you think, if we all just helped each other out a little bit, the world would be a much better place.
Mm.
That is a fine tale. That is a fine tale. And may I just add that the tale of the lamb was comedy genius. Because lambs have tails, you see.
Oh, he's always working, Roland. He's always working.
I bow to your expertise in wordcraft.
Trust me, my friend. It was wonderful, perfectly timed as well towards the end, but not quite at the heartwarming round off of the tale. It was wonderful.
Roland, you sound like a man of many talents, but where would you say your greatest skill lies? In your physical attributes, your emotional strength, or your intellectualism?
I trust my quick reflexes above all else.
Then take a D8 for physical and a D6 for emotional and intellectual, please.
Okie dokie.
And add a D6 for your trade. Your trade is the overarching job, which for you is the hood. Is it the hood? Let's have a look. No.
Sounds about.
So double check. Might be that one. Let's have a look. Got to find out what section your job is in now. Where is this? Not that one. It's not that one. It's not that one.
I think it's with smugglers and things like that.
Poachers, yeah, the hood. So your so your trade is the hood. So you need to write the hood in your trade, and you'll take a D6. So anytime something that is something suspicious, you'll get to roll that dice. And then a D6 for your role as poacher, which accounts to an apprentice level.
Okay, where do I put that? Under starting job?
Yeah, starting job. So your starting job is poacher,
Mm-hmm.
and a D6. So you have a D6 for the hood. So you're naturally skilled at such under sort of covert things. D6 for your job.
For job dice, good.
As an apprentice. A D8 for physical, and a D6 for emotional and intellectual.
Right. So basically, I've got D6s everywhere except for my physical, which is D8.
Indeed. And for those listening, when there is a task set, you will need to roll whatever dice are part of it, and you need to hit a 5.
People have an idea what we're talking about. I have a character sheet, you see.
Perfect. You need to hit a D5. You need to hit 1d5 or above from whatever dice you roll to be successful. So as you become more skilled and move up to D8 and D12, of course, it becomes much more likely that you will roll a 5 or above.
Fantastic.
And then, but for you, dear poacher, you must have a specific skill. I don't know if you got the PDF open, Ben.
Yes, the thing that I actually can't remember exactly what it's called, but it is the moving by night.
Travel by moonlight.
Travel by moonlight. Thank you.
Travel by moonlight. When the lights and candles are extinguished, those who wear the hood start their work. When the moon shines bright, you are in your element. Traveling at night is only safe for those who know what they're doing, and you certainly know what you're doing.
Is that my expertise?
That is. Let me check my sheet. It comes under skill. Down the bottom, it should say skills.
I see skills. Yes,
Yep.
Sorry, my bad. Got it.
And so basically, if you do something that would normally need a dice roll for it, if it's your skill, you don't need to roll dice. It's a pass, unless I deem it to be of high difficulty.
Yeah. So if it's a really difficult thing, then I've still got to roll for it. But if it's pretty typical, all good.
Perhaps Roland, with our mama being so humorous, perhaps it's his time to tell us a tale of the last few months. Roll a dice, please, dear mama, in the D10 category.
D10.
Someone can roll one for you if you
No, it's fine. Ben, roll one for me. No, it's fine. 5, please.
Tell a story about visions, ideas, and building for tomorrow. A better world being built.
Well, of course, I'm not strictly working. I shan't be passing around the hat after my tale, so you'll forgive me if it's not quite as humorous as our dear friend's tale. But I can tell a tale of building for the future, and of course, as I was telling Roland here, I'm very much cautious of the future of mumming, and particularly after my time, I would very much like to leave it a much better profession than I joined it. That is my humble hopes. And we were out and about throughout the season, making our way to this very hamlet to perform here in May, and doing the usual performances, the standard St. George, the Turkish Knights, the Doctor, of course, and the mumming traditional performances that you would expect throughout houses. I did, however, manage to convince some of the troupe that I came down here with to branch out, which is almost unheard of. I feel like I should be speaking in whispering tones, and we performed a much more heartwarming piece. You might say, when he looks around over his shoulders, you might say somewhat treacherous. A piece about overthrowing the local lord on our way down here. I portrayed the lord beautifully, it must be said. I'm not overly familiar with the person, but I am familiar with the class, and it was said that I copied them expertly. The tips weren't so good. It wasn't a hit. But for me, the convincing of people in my trade to break the norms and to push the boundaries a little bit further than perhaps had been pushed before was certainly some progression from the usual performances.
Splendid, dear Colm. Splendid.
Just a performance, of course. No he looks around again. No, no actual intent for comedic purposes only.
Well, I've heard the local lord is can be quite aggressive at times. Perhaps not reasonable not to get on his bad side too obviously. But I suppose in your role with humour, you perhaps get away with more than maybe myself trying to speak truth, or Roland trying to stay out of his grasp would do.
I'm no fool. I can't push the boundaries quite that far. It should be said, but I do like to experiment a little bit in that general direction.
Dear Mama, what would you say your skill is? What is your greatest of your skills, your specialist skill? Perhaps
My special.
yeah, perhaps it's a talent for voices, or your changeable face, or impressions, presence.
No. I would say that I don't know. I would say impressions is probably quite apt. One I think that I performed rather well in the tone that I just told. I do like to copy people, that to get a feel for them, and to and he'll sit at the table, and he'll try to do his best copy of John's mannerisms and tonality, and uh, he'll say, I think I'm quite good, wouldn't you say?
It's almost as if I'm looking in the mirror. Dear Mama, you truly have the skill of copycat.
Indeed. Thank you for saying so. It's been a long time in the building.
But where would you say your greatest strength lies? In the physical, emotional, or intellectual side of life?
Well, of course, I think most people in my trade, certainly in my role, tend to weigh more heavily in the emotional. You have to truly understand somebody's emotions and the emotions of other people in order to elicit a laugh or a tear, or to embody the person themselves.
You truly know your craft. For a man who I suppose would still class himself somewhat as an apprentice, it's a long career path, of course, as a mummer. There's always something to learn.
There is always growth. The performance could always be better, is something that my first mentor said to me. Reflect on your performances and think about what you could have done better, and include that in your performance next time.
Splendid. Then give yourself a D8 for emotional, D6 for physical, D6 for intellectual, D6 for your trade, which is the mask, MASQUE, and a D6 for your job, mama, and your skill is copycat. So within the copycat, I believe you will not have to roll, unless it's super difficult, of course, for pulling off convincing impressions, mimicking, and sort of the studying of the people to do that. So that's excellent. I myself, friends, are different to you. It feels like between us we create a certain level of complexity that we balance out. I would say my greatest strength is my intellect. Physically, I can hold my own, I suppose. I have my understanding of emotions, but I can read, which I suppose immediately puts me in the top 2% of such things in this fine country of ours. As you know, I'm a friar under the sexton way, which they count as part of the flesh, believe it or not. And while I have some knowledge of religious rites and some connections, although most have been torn from me now within the church, I am very much of the people. The church has forgotten its most sacred duty to care for the poor, the sick, the weak and the broken, but not I. I am of the people and they know it, and the common people trust me more than most others. So I shall write down. Oh, what a joy. So we have, pulling us aside slightly, we have come up with our character, our dice, our skills, and so on. And what might be nice before we return to the scene is perhaps 5 minutes to refill our glasses, to take a breath in this hot evening, and then return for maybe another 45 minutes or so to play out some role playing. Yeah,
that really does sound lovely.
Perfect.
Fantastic. Dear viewers, please don't go anywhere. You know, you can get some food, get a drink, go to the loo or whatever, but please return. We love having you with us. And we shall be back shortly. Welcome back, dear friends, to Norton on the 1st of May, 1376. And 'tis a wonderful day, verily. I get to sit here with my two new friends, enjoying this wonderful ale. And it's interesting to me that, dear Colm and Roland, it appears that we all class as apprentice within our chosen careers.
Hmm.
Have either of you ever wished to improve yourselves to become seen as more in what you do? Perhaps Roland, yours is more learning the skills without being known.
You learn from others, of course, but it's a bit more informal.
Of course, of course. Now, I've heard from many people across the years that work in these times, people can be seen under four levels, from novice to apprentice to journeyman to master himself. I can think of only a few masters I've ever come across in my time, and maybe Colm, one day that will be you.
Well, of course, as mentioned, there is always room for improvement, and I always try to improve. Of course, a great measure of improvement in my trade is the part that you get to play within the troop, but also the troops that you are invited to play with themselves.
Oh.
One day, I dream my ultimate goal, if I could be so bold as to tell you both, would be to play the Doctor in the traditional Mama performance. Of course, many people think of St. George as being the protagonist, and he is, of course. But without the Doctor, the whole play loses substance and meaning.
Oh, so true. I guess to play such a role is above an apprentice, I suppose. But I've heard say within the mama world that expertise gaining expertise can lead to improving your position, your skills. That by attempting things within the world that link to your job, you might gain such expertise. And I've heard that there are people around who you can meet with to train with them to level up. I don't know for you, Roland, if there's any around who you have learnt from in the past and that you'd look to in the future.
Oh, of course. Yes, there most definitely are. And it's important to note that the skills I need to improve, I can learn not only from those in my own field, but those who have other reasons to move silently, travel at night, create traps, or the like.
Can I just say that in your own field, again, comic genius, well done.
Oh, this is the longest I've spent in the presence of a mama, Roland, and one feels that they do their best work in short bursts.
I'm not sure whether to take that as a compliment or an insult. Truth be told.
Well, perhaps when you continue to level up, one shall be overwhelmed with your great doctor work.
Well, as I say, I tend to regurgitate the world around me, and if it is lacking in resources, then I can't be blamed for the outcome of my performance.
I've heard say locally that that whence you are seen as a journeyman in your job, you can indeed take on another job as well. That you can spread out and maybe improve your skills. Colm, is there any other job that you might look into when your mummering has increased, or would you stay true to the one calling?
Of course, there is much overlap between the performance arts. as I'm sure you know, and mummering does have a traditional role for the fool. It is a good way to increase the takings in the hat, and as you saw earlier, I do quite like a fool for comedic value when the time is right. Perhaps a fool. There's a lot of options. There's a lot of choice, I think, within the world. Music, of course, plays a good part in any performance. Perhaps one day I might take up a flute or a hurdy-gurdy or some other such instrument. But who knows? Who knows? When the time is right, I suppose the opportunity will present itself.
Well, it appears, dear friends, the opportunity may have. In fact, give yourself 1 opportunity point. They're a spendable resource that allows a player to interact with the world beyond their immediate surroundings. You may not use it today, but in the future. So this would allow you when you gain a party. So when you may gain a retinue, or when something happens and you can add something to the tale. So if a soldier is captured, you can say, "I'm going to use my opportunity," and say, they have a knife in their sheath in their boot that I can reach. So a chance to sort of play with the story a bit.
Okay.
And you too, Roland, take an opportunity while we're here.
We'll have an opportunity.
But speaking of opportunities, Colm, Roland, can you not see they appear to be short of a ribbon in the at the Maypole? Perhaps Colm should take flight and bring joy to the lives of the children there. What say you, Roland? Do you not be the right man for the job?
I think he sounds like the perfect man for the job. And gambling around with the people is a good way to spend a little bit of time in the afternoon.
Indeed. What say you, Colm? The ribbon is there. Look, Marjery is pointing towards you. She has seen you for the man that you are. One for the people.
Under two provisions. The first is that you hold my beer, and the second is that one of you should introduce me. Of course, I will wear my mask, as is tradition in performance. But I feel as though any great mumming performance needs a caller to gather the crowds and to introduce me. And you must introduce me as Lord Champagne, for he is the person that I will be embodying during my performance.
It is risky to
Too risky
to play fool to the Lord of the Manor, although I have not seen him all day.
Indeed.
It appears that
perhaps if you know of someone better locally who would be more open to some jest and foolhardy behaviour, then introduce me as them. You are local, are you not, John?
I am from all around these parts. I tell you what, I can see that Roland, dear Roland, shrunk back a little at the thought of taking to the field and announcing you as he is. So why don't we both hand our cups to Roland? In fact, Roland, I don't mind if mine is drained by the time I return, if such things help.
I would say that perhaps it's the first time that he's retreated at taking to the field from the field. That's the usual. Perhaps that's where the confusion lies.
Oh.
I have a good vantage point from here, and the cups will be safe in my possession. The contents, I cannot make that promise.
All I ask is for this prime corner of cheese to still remain when I return.
That's something I will probably be safe with, yes.
Oh. Come, dear Mama, let's see you put on a show.
And he will put on his hat, mask, and tighten up the garment around his waist, which flows. I want to say wheat, might be willow, some kind of material in a skirt-esque fashion, and stand up and hold out his arm. Come, let's go.
Oh. You know, Colm, I am taking a risk here, calling out the Lord of the Manor. I have no love for him. I think he is a man who wants no good for the locals. I think his eyes are turned by grander visions elsewhere. But things are.
I can appreciate the position you're in. How about not the Lord? How about the dear lady who poured us our drinks? I think I have enough of an understanding of her person to put on a performance. Perhaps less insulting, more well known within the community, less risk to yourself and to me, of course.
You know what? Times are changing, and perhaps it is time that the lords and masters hear truth from the people. Take the ribbon from Marjery Colm. I shall introduce you.
And he'll not being overly familiar with the lord of this land, but having I would like to say, a decent enough study of lords in his time to understand the general premise of the assignment. He will take some bold, over the top striding out into the field to retrieve the ribbon. Almost so over the top it's satirical.
Oh. Ladies and gentlefolk, good people of Nortone and from further afield, here on the wonderful May Day, as those know me as your humble servant John, I am proud to introduce to you a special guest for the next dance. It appears that our good friend Lord Champagne has arrived back from merrymaking in Sittingbourne or Faversham or Canterbury, wherever he was before.
And he has his arms, take a deep bow.
And he has learned, as the great John Wycliffe has recently written in De Civili Dominio, that only a person in a state of grace has a legitimate right to rule or to hold property. And he has maybe turned to gain said grace in this dance right now. So if you will, please welcome our great Lord.
And he comes up from his bow. Peasants, people of the land, thank you. I am Lord Champagne.
There's laughter and chuckles from people that have been undertrod for a long time.
And of course, the grace of which my good friend here speaks is well known to me indeed. In fact, so well known to me that I shall stand here and direct not just my own dance, but the dances of those below me. And he gestures at the poor little child. This poor child, this wretched child. And then he'll look towards whoever is playing the music. Well?
Mama, the Lord is well known to be aggressive around these parts and prone to drinking, gambling and merrymaking, if you wish to make a whole thing of this.
Thank you. Play! And he'll scream at the band.
And there's laughter, and the band start playing, and the people dance almost purposefully, bouncing into you, I guess, to sort of bring humour to the piece.
And he'll try and lean into it, and he'll start trying to be less concerned about his dancing and more concerned about directing people in the wrong direction, and try, you over that way, no, that way, and you go over that way, and pushing people around, and sort of lording over them in a very micromanagement kind of way during a maypole dance. Things I thought I'd never say, but also, playing up every time he gets bumped into and whoa, falling over.
Right.
Where's my beer?
Right, let's. This is a test, so I'd like you to take your dice for physical. I would suggest that this ties into both the mask, because it is a performance, and your job as mama, I would say as well. So you can have your 3d6s, and roll all 3, and I'd love you to hit a 5 or higher with at least one of them.
So would I. Let's see what happens, because I haven't. Oh, that is a good roll. I apologise. There's a 5, a 6, and a 3.
Oh.
Ooh.
The people take well to this. They enjoy it. There's a chance to sort of let loose, to laugh at a lord who's not present. Maybe you can see some sort of his very small garrison around his house that are sort of around, sort of a wavering, but everyone else seems to be quite cheery and laughing and jeering and shouting, and you find a few small coins thrown in your direction, Colm, as well. As the
he'll pretend like they hit him, and he'll play up to it, and then pick them up, scour them away in his pocket, snatch one for child.
Well, there is laughter, round of applause as the song purposefully falls apart. I guess goes faster, falls apart. Take yourself an expertise. You took on something that is part of your job. Now, expertise, Divyers, is what our heroes need to level up. So you need the expertise of the next level. So for our job, he'll need 8 expertise. Then he can find a specialist and can level up at maximum once per year, which the speed we play will be a decade.
Probably.
Once per decade, real life.
Now, as the mummer is going about his business, Roland, you notice that a few around you are murmuring about this, that seem very upset that people dare challenge the Lord. I suppose they seem a bit more well-to-do on the benches, a bit better dressed. It's like, how dare they? He get above himself, this fool. They think they joke and they take it lightly, but this is serious. The Lord is the Lord of the manor. He's God's chosen. And you sort of get this moment of like 3 guys around you.
Can I speak to all 3 of them without having to sort of raise my voice too much?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they're literally on the next bench, Sherlock.
Okay. Then I will say, good sirs, our English tradition of having a little fun with our Lord and Master transcends everything. If we don't have that, then as peasants, what do we have?
One sort of half turns to you at this. Are you classing yourselves at the same level as I, raggedy man?
I would not be so bold, nor so ignorant, as to step down to your level.
Do you understand the impudence with what you speak?
Impudence is kind of what I was going for.
Can you back up your words with actions, you fool of a man?
Well, I'm sure I can. On a very good day, I can carry things that aren't too heavy for short distances.
And I can knock foolish men to the ground with just one hand. And he sort of throws the bench up and stands up and gets in your face. You would not be the first today.
Well, that doesn't make me feel very special. Does this mean I'm going to have to stand up?
I can knock you out sat down if you want.
I'll tell you what. If we're going to have a fight, I think you should first let me drain my drink.
Fair enough. Maybe the
raise my
alcohol
cup.
will take the pain away.
I'm going to raise my cup.
Yeah.
Throw it in the face of the guy immediately behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And as I sort of do that, and he sort of starts to turn his head, I guess, to watch what I'm doing, I'm going to headbutt him on the cheekbone.
Oh, lovely. Right. That is beautiful. So, combat. It's combat time.
Combat.
Lovely. Combat. Combat. Right. Combat is fun. Combat is easy. We like combat and easiness. Let me find the right page just so I can get the words right. But here we go. Combat takes place in what looks like this. This is a diamond, everyone. Look at that. So look at the combat diamond. The combat diamond exists of 4 corners: standing, knocked back, down, and retreating. Now, both Roland and his combatant, let's choose this gentleman here, are standing. Now, Roland has, I guess, what other games would call the initiative. But in here we call it the momentum. Momentum goes with you to start with. Now, the person who has momentum gets to describe how things are going. Now, the person who has the momentum isn't necessarily the person that's winning the fight, but it's the person who won the last round, if that makes sense.
Okay.
The momentum is with you. Now, combat is quite simple. You both roll your physical dice.
Okie dokie.
And the highest wins. I need to find the physical dice for this man. So I have a D8. Physical dice, fantastic. And then we will roll it. Now, the loser, their condition goes 1 step clockwise. So standing goes to knock back goes to down, and down will go to retreating. Okay. When you win a combat, you can either make the loser go 1 step clockwise, or you can make yourself go 1 step anti-clockwise.
Gotcha.
Or you can offer assistance to another combatant if there's 2 people on your side fighting. Or if they're down or retreating, you can offer to kill or capture them. But we won't worry about that tonight, I would hope. Well, you may choose to. Who knows? It's a friendly festival.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yes, this is some basic football hooliganism. We're not talking about murder here.
Well, not yet.
Not yet.
So friendly. There's only been 1 headbutt so far.
Exactly. This is a very friendly day for Roland.
Right. So I just roll a D8.
Roll D, and I'll roll a D. I'll roll a D. Whatever it is, I'm not telling you. Okay. Well, you've beaten me here.
I have a 4. I'm afraid.
I've got a 1. So, so talk me through. You get the power to talk me through. He is knocked backwards.
Yeah, the first one. I very much like it. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this. To have him basically stagger back into one of his mates. When he gets the hit on the cheekbone, and and obviously I would like it to have hurt him a bit. And as he staggers back a bit, I will turn to the one I threw the drink at, and say, "Oh, that's unfortunate."
The man who you threw a drink at looks quite angry and upset at this, but the man who's knocked back comes forward to you again. He's not given up yet, and he starts throwing fists again.
Okay, I have momentum still. Is that right?
Yep. So you just need to roll your d8, and
As he comes running in, what I'd like to try to do is literally use his oncoming momentum and step sideways, so I put him between me and the guy I threw the water at.
Yep.
And then trip him and see if I can throw him on the floor.
Right, let's see if that happens.
Let's give it a go. That's not too bad. That's a 7.
Cool, he scored a 6.
bad at all.
He scored a 6, so that's good. And he did that with a d6 as well, so he had a good go. Oh,
he had a good roll. Yeah.
That does indeed happen, and as you throw him sort of through to that, you knock him down onto the ground. And he's sort of down in sort of the dirt and the beer and the puke and the sort of the bread and the bones down there. And he looks up at you angrily.
As he's like fallen past me, if you know what I mean, I would very much like, if he's going to imagine he's trying to push himself back up again.
Yeah.
And I would very much like to take that opportunity to administer a very firm but not dangerously aimed kick into his backside.
All right, I like it. Go for it.
See if I can basically make him scamper off.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's not good. That's a 2.
2. For him, that is a 4. So he takes control of the momentum. He will choose to knock you backwards rather than recover himself. He's gone all in. So
Okay.
The man sort of avoids it somewhat, and he sort of kicks at your ankle and sort of pushes you, staggers you into the bench that the three of us were sat at, knocking it backwards, knocking that corner of cheese onto the ground.
Oh, no.
Back.
I was hoping that would survive.
I like how we're all emotionally invested.
I know, the cheese.
Anyone else?
I mean, we're still within the 3 combat round rule, so we can rescue it.
And he's continuing. He's still down, but he's looking to sort of climber back up. So we'll roll again.
Okay. That's a 7.
Yeah, that's better. You can't beat that. That's a 4. You have indeed led him to retreat. So talk us through. You have the power.
Cool. When he's forced to retreat, does that mean he's actually running away or backing off?
So the 3 of them will back away. Will look to sort of move away from the situation. That his two mates aren't fighters. Let's put it that way.
They don't want to get in.
He's the swarthiest of them. They're more well-to-do.
If I may, I will actually address them and say, I think that's enough. Please make sure he gets home safe.
The 2 of them look to you with barely controlled anger, and as they sort of they back away, they head towards in the direction of the manor house. You sort of see them sort of moving quite swiftly alongside the green and back to the manor house, just as John and Colm return. My cheese. What happened to my cheese, Roland?
In my defense, I was about to say I didn't knock it onto the floor, but actually I did, but it wasn't my idea. However, I've been carefully looking at it for the last few seconds and no rat has approached it. So it's probably still fine.
Look, I think I may need to take the cheese and I'm not fussy. Even if a rat had nibbled, I would consider it. But perhaps I should take the cheese and go. Those men that you were brawling with were men who take orders from the Lord, from John Champagne, and I don't know if you heard Colm's or saw Colm's performance on my words. I fear that I may not be welcome around these parts for a while.
Oh, John, I'm sorry if I've put you out
Oh,
of sorts in this beautiful little village of Nortone.
don't. It's something that he's deserved for a long time. He's a violent man, a man who cares not for the people. And he's not the only one in these areas. This Hundred of Faversham itself is full of godless, uncaring men who look only for their wealth and for their own personal success at the cost of the working man, of the poor, of the needy. And seeing and spending time with you two tonight, like today, makes me feel hopeful that maybe I'm not the only one who sees it this way.
I certainly think that as the war has dragged on, as the demands in taxation have grown worse, as the church has started to serve its own needs rather than ours, the nobles have become more and more distant, more self-interested, more selfish. And we're surrounded by these fools who still stand by the established order simply because they know nothing else. I'm not a great man of thinking, but even I can see there's a better way.
Perhaps perhaps this is just the beginning. Perhaps the three of us could start our we have a religious man with us. Perhaps we could start our own crusades, if you will, of setting these lords and these people who put everybody else in their rightful place. Perhaps we could ruffle a few feathers.
What's the point of feathers if you're not going to ruffle them?
And you would be an expert.
I've encountered a feather or two.
Oh, my friends, I must leave you now. I'm going to head back to the Maison Dieu for the evening. But I would implore you, perhaps, if you're interested in perhaps trying to make a change in Faversham, if nowhere else, then perhaps meet me at the Maison Dieu tomorrow lunchtime, maybe, and we can discuss more. The ale is fine, the cheese is good, and the hospitality with my brothers there is second to none.
Such an invitation I would never refuse. I may even be able to find something for the kitchen on the way.
Now I'm definitely in.
In which case, dear friends, until tomorrow. And John nods and sort of looks furtively around and runs off, sort of scampers off a little bit down the road to the south and the southeast, leaving the two of you there outside Marjery's.
Well, Colin, I think if I'm going to have a good night this evening, I should set off soon. I have to get a distance away from the more travelled parts, you understand. But it has been a pleasure to make your acquaintance and to see your talents in action. Perhaps tomorrow.
Most certainly tomorrow, I would say. I hope you have a fruitful evening. Bountiful, some would say.
Let's hope.
Mm.
And I'll give him a sort of hearty clap on the shoulder, and then step off towards the road.
All good.
Yeah. Well, so Colm, lead us through the end of the scene.
Colm looks around at the people on the green, still dancing. It's much more organised in the way it was supposed to be around the Maypole. And, music playing in the background. He joins up with the troop of mothers that he was there performing with, and somewhat blends into them, so it's less obvious, I suppose, that he is still in Nortone. You could probably find him if you were particularly looking, but he's not. It's not the only person in the middle of green wearing his mum's outfit. And, swaps hats or swaps masks with one of the people next to him and just says thanks. Heads off towards a row of houses, sort of dancing along the way, acting a little bit of the fool. The trooper in good spirits. And, that is the end of his exit from the scene.
Wonderful. And that is where we end this evening. 1st of May is completed.
Wonderful.
Thank you, gentlemen. What a nice... I know the truffles are good, Jack. Thank you, guys. Good vibes. I'm enjoying it already.
Yes. Yes, this is so far a very cosy revolution.
A cosy revolution. Long may it continue.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you both for that. And thank you, viewers, for watching. This is Gallows Corner. We're going to put it into the rotation for the game rotation, something that we shall do. It's a wonderful game with a really great setting, and we get to tell stories historically where we live, basically, which there's never been a game like it, to be honest, that we can literally look at the history of our town and things can happen, and it's great. But who knows how we might even get down to Dorset.
You never know.
That's it. There's lots of disgruntled people around.
That is why here. Were they disgruntled back in the day as well?
Always. Oh, I can't use my Cecil voice. Not from Birmingham. Not down here. I'm not actually using close to my actual. This is the one time I can use my normal voice. Yeah, we need to get in the maze on you for the next one if we can meet the.
We kids.
Literally across the way. Right. Well, until that time. Good night, both. Thank you, Spares, now, Jacko, everyone that might be listening. We really appreciate you, and we shall do this again soon. And we'll be back on Friday with the Traveller, I would imagine.
Yes, that will be the plan, I'm sure.
Brilliant.
Sounds like a good one.
Yes, excellent. Right, then until then, thank you, everyone, and good night.
Good night.
Thanks, Luke.
Oh, no, thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.